We have in the studios here with me Tunde Doherty, who is the chairman APC UK chapter and also a project management consultant to look at how Nigeria can really attain this food sufficiency in the midst of the food emergency that has been declared by Mr. President. Very warm welcome today to Newsnight.
Thank you very much for having me.
I mean, the question some people out there are even asking that is taking the World Food Program to come and intervene, in kind of assuaging the food crisis, the hunger that is threatening over 2.1 million Nigerians in the northeast and the northwest. What do you say about that?
Yeah, definitely we are not mindful of the problems we have in terms of food security in Nigeria, which the president has taken very seriously by placing the Ministry of Agriculture under the security committee. And also you see that the president has also changed the security architecture, whereby the management of all the security apparatus we have in Nigeria has just been changed. The chief of staff, the chief of admin staff, naval staff, and if you look at the activities since they were announced, you see that they have intensified fight against.
No less than 200 Nigerians have been killed in the last more than 30 days. So what is it that they've done? People can just come and annihilate a whole village and wipe the people out, and you say they've done what?
You see, the government just started. And it has taken initiative to hit the ground running. And it has taken the president a bold step to change the military hierarchies. And if you look at the architecture the security architecture that has been changed now, there are a lot of other inputs that are now being introduced into the security of especially those dangerous areas where the farmers find it difficult to go to the farm, where the farmers are afraid of being attacked here and there, and the incessant kidnapping that is taking place. I can assure you that the use of technology in the maintenance and the monitoring of all these areas where these are very paramount are going to be you are going to see improvement process in all of that. You are going to see where AIs will be introduced. You are going to see where we will use this, where we will connect within the space form of the Google and all of that to make sure that we monitor activities as it is done everywhere in the world.
It would be great if AIs, can come and be the farmers and the rest, so that we know the terrorists and the bandits would not be able to kill living human beings. But let me just bring you to this. In your submission, you had said that the president is taking the issue of agriculture and food security very, very seriously. No doubt about it, in declaring an emergency in that area. Yeah. But if you have to advise Mr. President with the $800 million grants from the World Bank, instead of giving people 8,000 naira, which a lot of people have criticized, shouldn't that money be put into agriculture and critical infrastructure to evacuate produces?
Let me first of all correct that impression. The issue of 8 million naira or 500 billion naira had been already passed before the president take the oath of office. The president needs to just actualize and make sure that this particular project, which is a definitive... Is
that such a pressing need to give Nigerians 8,000 naira each? Is that a pressing demand?
Let me tell you, 8,000 naira, yes, we can say that, yes, 8,000 naira does not cushion any effect or whatever, but
so why waste the money if it doesn't?
Let me tell you,
why squander that money?
It's a definitive palliative. That's what you should understand. It's a definitive palliative means that it is particularly a palliative to help a bit in cushioning the effect of transportation due to the removal of the oil subsidy. These things are it's not peculiar to Mr. President alone. These are initiatives palliative that other countries, even the Western world, deployed in when there is crisis. I can tell you that in the United Kingdom, where I live, of recent there was gas crisis because of the war in Ukraine. What did the government do? The government made sure that every household energy bill was substituted. But how much? It's not inimical. When you are paying a bill of 60 pounds and it rose to start 300 pounds, and the government is saying, okay, we are going to be giving you 60 pounds every household, and the local council too decide to say, okay, we are going to give each household 150 pounds. What does that translate to? What does that transform to? But the fact that the government is able to say, okay, let us just do something, is better than doing nothing. And I can tell you that the president that we have is not a president that will just look away from whatever thing will have to be committed by in the past. We know what happened to fund like that and all of that. I can tell you that the president is somebody that is always accountable and will make sure that whatever he's doing is within this space.
Using the same social register, right?
Definitely, you cannot. When you say the same social register, there's always a takeoff point when it comes to data gathering. When it comes to data gathering, you have to look at existing databases and look at, okay, how can we modify these data, or how can we streamline this data, or how can we filter this data to be able to commensurate the needs of the purpose of
interventions in the past administration by this same party didn't really get anywhere. When you look first at the NBS statistics, the World Bank statistics, where Nigerians, another about 5.2 million Nigerians got into the poverty level. So of what effect is this kind of palliative?
You can't say of what effect. Everybody knows that
if it has effect,
the world had gone through a very, very strong, painful period. The COVID has affected almost every aspect of life anywhere in the world. So Nigeria is not immune to all that. And when we're talking about assisting the people, giving them a bit of relief in terms of living, it's the responsibility of the government to take the first initiative. And the initiative has been taken even before now. The government of the day is accelerating process to make sure that whatever benefit or whatever support they are going to give to the population, they are going to give to the people, comes at the right time and gets to the right people. And I can tell you, as we are now, there are a lot of improvement process going on in terms of our data. That's the major problem, and we have every documentations that can be put together, and Nigerians will have a great and respect data for planning and implementation.
Okay, let's look at the initiative, by the government to rejuvenate agriculture, declaring food security. What are those indices that must be put in place to achieve a set target, maybe medium and long term?
Thank you very much. The very first one is the security issue. We know the security issue has impeded farmers from going to their farm. It has reduced production. It has reduced cultivation. And at the end of the day, it has increased in a bit accessibility to food. And it has caused inflation, no doubt about that. But in this manner, I can tell you that in the past we have a very functional river basin authorities, which are supposed to be controlling the flood aspect of it, for irrigation, to be able to redirect flooding to where the excess water is needed for all year-round planting. So therefore, I can tell you that initiative, in those days that we have that river basin, the river basin authority will now have to be enlivened. There will be serious investment into the river basin, so that they can, if needs be, there will be the number of river basins that we have will increase. And we're talking about the shard, the non-performance of those authorities that is responsible to control flood as shown, because we have never had flood like we had in the last year and it's been predicted this year. I can tell you, you give this government the time, you will see that all whatever is necessary to make sure that food security is guaranteed for Nigeria, and for the fact that food in itself is a kind of a foreign investment, foreign currency generation. It will whatever we have to export in food will increase our the revenue
That
in
will
the
be after
country.
we've really fed
Yes,
ourselves very well.
Whether we like
You
it
know,
or not, we are not feeding ourselves. I can tell you that I still buy yam. I still buy yam in the streets of London. They still buy yam in the street of New York. Where does this yam come from? It comes from Nigeria.
You're very privileged, and you must take into reference the WFP statement about 2.1 million Nigerians. That's just a fragment.
That's
I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, Tunde Doherty, is a management consultant and APC chairman in the diaspora.
Yes, I'm Tunde Doherty, APC chairman in the committee of APC chairman,
Thank
UK
you.
chapter and committee of diaspora chairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming on Newsnight.